Hey y'all, it's Danielle from Black Business Boom, and I am live with Courtney Fullum the second. And I am really excited to have Courtney here with me today. We had the opportunity to chat last month and just talk about, refinancing and home ownership for the Black community, non-traditional financing options, which is something he specializes in. And I thought it would be a great opportunity for him to come and chat with the Black Business Boom audience and for them to learn more about what he does. Welcome, Courtney. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself?
I am fantastic. I can't complain at all. Happy to have you joining me today. Can you tell folks a little bit about you and the work that you do here in Nashville?
Yeah, actually, I'm a lender. The branch manager for Gold Financial Services. I've been in lending for a little over 28 years. Um, I've been a bank auditor, an underwriter, as well as a mortgage company owner. And now I am in the last of my career, I hope, so that I can enjoy retirement one day soon. But with Gold Financial, I am working inside of the Nashville community, but also lend in the entire state of Tennessee.
Okay, that is wonderful. And so I know that you have a passion around North Nashville and making sure that the community is served. And that is, I think that there's been a lot of focus in North Nashville, making sure that folks are being served in that community. So, can you tell us a little bit about the work that you're doing to encourage, to make sure that our people in underserved communities get access to the lending products that they need?
Yeah, absolutely. So in North Nashville, we are seeing gentrified
Mhm.
communities. It's been ravenous. And unfortunately, those people who are being displaced don't have anywhere else to go. So there are options that we can take full advantage of because a lot of those folks are older and we
Mhm.
don't want to see grandmothers and great aunties and uncles, in a position where they can't live in the city that they grew up in. North Nashville is an amazing community. I attended school at Tennessee State University, so I absolutely love North Nashville. I'm also a deacon at Corinthian Missionary Baptist Church, and North Nashville needs to be educated on what their options are. And even though they may be getting, $50,000 to $80,000 for their property, it's just may not be enough for them to transition to another home inside of Nashville. So I did make a proposition to the mayor's office on a program that I thought would best meet the needs of that community. And essentially, I don't mind that Nashville's changing, but I don't want it to be whited out or blacked out rather. And what that means is that I don't want our beautiful community to be just basically wiped out because they can't afford it.
Mhm.
So with the mayor's office, I had talked about some different opportunities where if a builder and developer comes into that area, they can actually sell or actually purchase the home at a reasonable rate. And I do mean reasonable. I mean, a lot of these folks are getting undercut. They
Mhm.
are getting offers from investors who essentially the investors are going to give you the full asking price. And then they'll do the switcheroo where they will say, well, you know what, we did a home inspection and looks like there's a little
Mhm.
more work to be done. And because of that work, I'm going to offer you $75,000 less. And here you are in a situation trying to move, trying to relocate, and you're expecting that full asking price only be given a lesser amount. And because you're in dire straits and you're already prepared to move, then
You go
you
ahead
know
and take it.
you're yeah, you go ahead and take it, and it's really sad. So there's a lot of other opportunities you can take advantage of. I am a preferred lender with THDA. That's a program for down payment assistance, and they have also special programs for the police force, um,
Mm.
active duty for the National Guard, and also retired military and state and local enforcement. So police officers, folks who have served in the military branch, as well as firefighters and EMTs. And with that particular program, they are given an extraordinary low interest rate. And I know that everyone has been saying you can't buy, you shouldn't buy. But when I purchased my first home, I was actually, I bought my home at a rate of 12.125.
Jeez.
And I later refinanced. But I did have to, I had to be in a situation where I had to pay the higher interest rate for 6 months, and then later I was able to refinance and get a much lower monthly payment. So I know everyone wants to get this home that is grandiose and the whole nine, brand new brick, but you have to remember that a home doesn't necessarily have to be the end all be all, but we can purchase a starter home. And in Nashville, we are seeing equitable growth by 10 up to 20%. And a
Mhm.
lot of that is because some of the investors or some of the folks that's moving in from California, they're actually providing $50,000 to $75,000 over the
Mhm.
asking price because it's been a big bidding war. Now that has slowed down here recently, but the fact is that you're still enjoying that equitable growth in that starter home. So you could buy a home for, I'm just giving you some numbers, for 100,000, and then 3 years later, a home could be worth, it could possibly be over 100,000. And the reason why I say that is because I work in the community of Nashville, and I also do a lot of work in Pulaski, Tennessee. Now that was a real challenge, but it's been a real blessing as well. So I love working with the community, whether you are a minority or you have a lack of information. So with our first time home buyer programs, there's an array of different programs that you can do. And if you can't afford it by yourself, you might be able to find a parent or a sibling or uncle and aunt that can be a part of the transaction. And in being part of that transaction, it essentially means that they are helping you to buy the home, but they are not obligated to live in that house with you. So your aunt, your mom may own a home, and then you're using their income and their credit to help you to purchase that home.
Mhm.
And then 6 months later, you can literally refinance it, and you can have it exclusively in your name if you couldn't qualify in the beginning.
Okay, that's interesting. Now, we talked about a lot. I mean, what I took from it is that there are lots of options that are available, depending on
Absolutely.
what your situation is. There are a lot of folks that are thinking, I can't go buy a home right now. I'm not in a position to do that. And there may be programs that exist to help them to do that. Now, I also want to ask you about folks that are in a position right now where they may have some equity in their home and they're looking to pull some equity out, whether that be through a home equity loan or line of credit or a refinance, and what those options are looking like in this financial or this climate or this economic climate that we're living in right now.
Yes. Well, I am a person, I do enjoy the home equity lines of credit, but I would much rather give you a traditional loan where we can look at shortening the term, leveraging that equity, and you can use that equity to purchase investment property. I have one program that is amazing where all you need to do is have anywhere from 10 to 20%, and you can actually purchase the home without the traditional income requirements where you're looking at the tax returns and things of that nature. So let's say you want to buy $100,000 home and you have $20,000, then we would only go off of what the rent is going to be obtained by acquiring that home. So instead of looking at your income to get qualified, they only look at just your rent. And that program can help a lot of investors to actually purchase their first home or multiple homes. What I would actually suggest is when you buy your first home, instead of purchasing a single family residence, purchase a multi-unit home where your mortgage payment might be 1,500, and then you have on a condo, you will have that renter to help pay the majority of that particular monthly payment. And then you can actually transition to a single family residence. And that's how you're actually building your kingdom, is by acquiring something that's only a stepping stone and
Yeah.
then using that particular home to, or that income from that home to acquire the primary residence that you're looking for. And what's really great is that FHA, which only has a minimum down payment of 3.5%, will allow you to purchase a multi unit home, a duplex, a triplex, or a quad. And there was a young man who came to me and he said, "Hey, I'm looking to buy my first home." He was single and didn't have any children. So I said, "Hey, instead of buying a home, let's build your castle." So
Hmm.
he, what are you talking about? So I said, let's go ahead and look at purchasing a quad. So he purchased a quad down in Murfreesboro, and he was able to get all three of those sides income, so that he could make some additional money that will allow him to afford purchasing another home down the line.
That is amazing. I love it. I love creativity and getting things done.
Yeah,
So Courtney, I'm sure there are folks that are tuned in and they have questions, that are based on their individual situations. And so I would love to let folks know how they can reach out to you if they are interested in buying, if they're interested in refinancing, if they're just kind of curious on what a pre-qualification, what the pre-qualification looks like, or all the things. How can they reach out to you?
right. They can call me at 615-364-7638.
Okay.
Or you can also email me at cfullum, and that's spelled with an F as in fantastic, U as in unbelievable, L as in loving, L as in likable, U as in unbelievable because I'm still unbelievable,
Mhm.
M as in man at goldfinancial.com. So cfullum at goldfinancial.com. And
Thanks.
also, just one thing I also want to share is that there is another program called a HECM, a home equity conversion mortgage. A
Mhm.
lot of people don't know that you can use that to purchase a home as well. So if you're a person who is about to retire and you really want to enjoy your retirement, you can use this to actually purchase a home. That is where you pay a little more towards the down payment, but you would actually be able to purchase that home and never have a mortgage payment for the rest of their lives. Now, a lot of people call that the reverse mortgage,
Yeah,
and
that's
I do like the reverse mortgage. It's an awesome program. And I have actually used it for a ton of amazing families. I had one particular client that was in Brentwood, and they had gotten behind on their mortgage, and they said, "What can we do?" So the reverse mortgage, or the HECM, has a different qualification where you have to be at a minimum of 62 years of age. And I was able to refinance her home. Her home at the time appraised for like 535. She only owed about $112,000, and
mm,
she was able to get $140,000 in cash, paid off all of her indebtedness, and with that 140, she was able to use various CDs so that she can enjoy her retirement. And at the same time, with the cost of medications and
yeah.
cost of living going up, it gave her an opportunity to not have that heavy burden of a mortgage payment. So, and there's a lot of misconceptions about a reverse mortgage, that the bank wants your home, and the bank does not want your home, not 1 cent of your home. They want to help the clients. And there are a lot of different programs that are really tailored for the individual's needs. So, I love the fixed rate loans. I do like adjustable rate mortgages, depending on your career, because some people are thinking that those are bad products, but the adjustable rate mortgage is a good product. It has to be utilized properly. If you're a salesman who, has peaks and valleys on your commissions, then a HECM, or I'm sorry, an ARM, that
Mhm.
type of loan might be more beneficial for you because it is affected by the market. So the interest rate on it does fluctuate up and down. I would never want to give it to someone who's on a fixed income, but
Yeah.
you would want to give it to someone who might be a car salesman, or or someone who has that money that's coming, that's like I said, peaks and valleys, maybe even a doctor. So so and also a lot of the times loan officers, they stop answering your phone call when they see that your credit is poor. I'm going to answer every single phone call that you make to me. I do have a service in which we can look at your credit score if it's challenging, and I can show you how you can actually get a better credit score within 6 months. And a lot of my clients have been able to get back on track because of the information that I'm giving them. I know that there's a lot of credit restoration companies or companies that say,
Mhm.
"Hey, pay me." Well, if you have a great loan officer or someone who really cares about what you're doing, then they're going to try to provide that service.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of outside of the box, situations. I've gone to help my clients with their tax preparations. I have driven up to, during COVID when the IRS was shut down, I drove up to Bowling Green with a client, and we got their taxes taken care of. So if you're self-employed, I have special programs for you where we only look at your bank statements, whether it be 12-month or 24-month. If you're, matter of fact, I'm also have a program for people who are in the cannabis,
Okay.
business, because
Yeah.
a lot of banks are not providing lending for them. So
Yeah.
I know that's not here in Tennessee right now, but I do have those opportunities as well.
Wonderful. Love it. Well, thank you so, so much for joining me, Courtney. A lot of great information. I hope that folks will definitely reach out to you with any questions that they have. It's been amazing having you. I
Yeah.
learned a lot today as well. If you all have any questions, please reach out to Courtney. He's here to serve the community. And again, I just greatly appreciate your willingness to come and talk to the community about these options. Please reach out to Courtney with any questions you have. And thanks so much for tuning in today. And thank you so much for joining me, Courtney.